Happy Mask Monday, y'all! Isn't this exciting? This is round 3 for me, and I have Viva Color Coconut Anti-Aging and Smoothing Facial Mask, and that's what it looks like. And this time I'm getting a wet one. I am freshly clean and I couldn't sleep, so I'm doing it early in the morning, and I am in my nightgown still. Got my hair tied up with a new headband from Dollar Tree, and because Birdznest requested a ghost story, that's what we're gonna do. I know I talk about my eczema a lot. I am a little bit flared up, but it's all okay. So I'm gonna start off this face mask with a story about, I'm saying about give or take 10, 11 years ago, when my kids were much younger. I before I start that, I'd like to begin, there's something about these face masks that, the sensation of this goopy, slimy stuff is just, it gets me. I don't do well with slime. It's almost like I don't know. I don't know, but anyway, I'll do this. I don't know. Most of it's gonna be going on my fingers. Okay. Anyway, I'm just getting it unraveled. So I was in this house with my children, my daughter's dad. And this house was really old. It was beside a bus trap. And I don't know if it was because it was older. I didn't know the history behind it. Of course, I didn't buy it, so they didn't have to tell me the history to it. And this actually smells really, really nice. It doesn't smell like coconut, but it does smell really flippin' awesome. It makes the sliminess worth taking it. So anyway, to what I was saying, I would be working at Tim Hortons. I had been working there close to 13 years, and anyway, every time I'd come home, I would go into the I don't know what you would call it. It's just off the kitchen / dining room area. And it had a little living room, but it wasn't a living room because we had a whole separate one of those too. But anyway, yeah, there was a fireplace and maybe like a den type area. And anyway, I'd come home and relax a little bit, and then I'd always have my back facing towards the sliding door, and I'd get the chills. Long story short, it would be going like down my back, and I'd always feel cold, and there was no reason for this, considering it was middle of the summer, like 28 to 30 plus weather, right? Um, Degrees. So, yeah, I'd be like, I wouldn't understand it. And I thought maybe I was just overtired, too young to have perimenopause. And this seems too close to the eye. Now, it could have been the energy that was in the house, or it could have been the history of the house. I have no clue what it was. And of course, I read this prior to, it said 10 to 15 minutes, so um, it is 5:09 a.m. currently, and I am recording this on Friday, June 4th. So, going back to what I was saying, this this thing here, the chills. It was mainly in that room, and all the intercoms and stuff were working. It was like an old house. It had the old vacuum slots where you could vacuum the dust, and I don't know. It's weird, but it had intercoms throughout the whole house, and it's also radios, and the energies that I'm talking about is just dark. You walk down to the basement. This was a 3-story home. It had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 bathrooms, 1, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms, a little washer dryer, a garage. It was a 2-car garage, I believe. And anyway, you walk down to the basement. There were certain rooms inside this house that you could feel that it wasn't quite pure. And I don't know if I mentioned, but this was in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And this sucker, is it my face that's making it not want to staying up on my big forehead? But anyway, so there was an office, and you would get really weird feelings there, which is maybe I'd have to say about 10 steps away from the room that was located with the fire room just off of the kitchen / dining room area. Anyway, you would feel it. Then you'd go around down to the basement, and this could have been like a whole separate suite if they had have added a kitchen to it. But everything about it was dark. Like, I'm talking energy wise, it was like somebody was watching you constantly. You couldn't see them, but you could feel them. And there were many times, like my daughter and her fiance at the time were staying down there, and my ex-sister-in-law and her partner were down there. And my daughter and son-in-law at the time just finished having my granddaughter. And they actually ended up wanting to leave there was also some situations that were going on. Sorry, I feel like I'm slurring because of this on my lip. It's not staying. What's going on here? But anyway, um, there was this one night in particular that I was trying to get my children to bed, my two youngest sons, and my daughter and son-in-law, granddaughter had just currently moved out, and my sister-in-law was still there with her partner, and she so I'm getting my kids to bed, and I was with my daughter's dad. Second go round relationship with this guy, and long story short, I get my two boys bathed in bed. I just had a long week worth of work. I was also going to college part time, and yeah, every minute that I had a spare, I would be spending it with my children. And anyway, at this point, they're all freshly bathed. I tell them, go downstairs, say goodnight to dad. And while they did that, I went down. I stayed in the bathroom, cleaned it up for the next time, and then I made sure that their beds were all nice, and ready for them to be tucked in. And they came back upstairs, happy young boys, and hugging their mama, and they were like, "Hey, Mom, I love you." And there was nothing wrong with what they were going through. They were complete happy little boys, and I was content knowing that they were happy. So anyway, get them into bed, turn off the lights, put on the night light, and then I'd have to say it was about not even less than more than 10 minutes, give or take, something along that way. Both of my sons come screaming, and there's a lot of stairs that go up there. I'd have to say about, I don't know, anywhere from 14 to 17 stairs. And they're screaming and they're crying uncontrollably, and it was really, really difficult to see my sons, these boys, in such distress. And I heard them. I was in the kitchen. I was prepping their lunches for the following day for them, for daycare and school and all that. Anyway, yeah, and then so they're crying, they're frantic, they're trying to tell me something, and their dad and whatnot, and so they carry on, and they're just like so I finally got them to calm down, and what they told me scared me so much also. It frightened me to the point that I knew that I had to be the one that dealt with this situation, but I also was scared to deal with the situation. And at the same time, I was scared to, I can't even put into words how I felt being a mother, seeing my children so terrified. And the anguish, and them not knowing what it was that they explained to me, which was at the foot of their bed there was something that tried to climb on their bed, and it was dark, and it had a tail and horns. What they described to me was Lucifer, something demonic, and it was trying to block them from leaving the room. And I'm looking away because it was scary for them. It was scary for me. We had a rosary, and and I'm a very spiritual person, and they this is not working or setting on my chin. Went up there and did the Our Father prayer, and I prayed to Creator. Had to calm my kids down, and their father, I don't know what was going on. I know he's a believer, but the, the state that he was in was not him, and he basically forced me at that time to make my children go back into that room and sleep. And they did, but I didn't sleep. I remember always checking in on them and playing on my mind about what they had saw, what they went through. And it made me wonder if the same thing that I had been feeling was the same thing that they had seen. And not to mention, there was like little echoes and certain sounds that sounded like screaming or screeching, um, things things that sounded like there was scratching throughout the night. And we had a fair-sized big backyard, so I always thought that maybe perhaps it was mice or something for the scratching. But it would be coming out of this radio slash intercom stuff too. So I wasn't really sure. Nonetheless, we didn't stay there overly long. Like after that, I realized that um, their dad was changing, like everything about him and his sister and them too. His sister and brother-in-law had changed also. Like they seemed more dark. It's almost like it felt like there was an energy that was shifting inside of them, and I believe it's time to take this off. So yeah, they ended up. We ended up moving out here for the first time in a long time, to Ontario, Canada. Um, I don't know what was in that house. I I don't know if my children even remember that experience. It has not been brought up um, to that point ever again. Um, what else can I say about it? What do you think it was like? I know children don't lie. I do know that they have an amazing imagination, but that when you feel things and you start seeing people changing and people start moving out and your kids scream for no apparent reason when just 10 minutes prior they were happy little kids, and once in a while you would hear them talking to somebody that wasn't even there, throughout your stint of living in this place. It makes you wonder, like, what's really out there? What is the land on? Going back to the review for this mask, because that story is pretty much done. It is creepy to me, and another one that me and my children lived with. But this Viva Color from Dollar Tree, again, $1.25 here in Canada. I like it. I don't, honest to God, there's something that gives me the heebie-jeebies with the whatchamacallit, the goopiness of it, the sliminess of it. Right off the bat, even though I showered a couple of hours ago, my face feels very healthy. It feels hydrated, even though it doesn't say it's supposed to hydrate. It's supposed to smooth it. Well, I guess it did something, because I don't know, it's very shiny. I like this one. And I think this might be one that I will do a repeat of in the future, especially if Dollar Tree do not add any more and just keep with the same types. But my review for this, for Mask Monday Ladies, is I would go for this if you haven't already. And I think I'm going to be taking out the coconuts and doing a DIY with that too for my actual supposed to be crafting channel that I haven't really done much on. But yeah, this one is a thumbs up so far. And so far, knock on wood, it hasn't even agitated my skin. So that's a plus. So on the ghost story part, what do you think? Leave me something in the comments below, and let me know what you think that was. Have you ever experienced anything like that before, or anybody else that you have known in your life? Have they ever seen anything demonic or darkness that's not pure? I'd like to know what your thoughts are with this. And for me, this is gonna wrap up my my Mask Monday, and I hope that you enjoyed it. And always remember to allow your spirit to be the warrior within. Allow yourself to be happy, and also allow yourself to shine. I love you all, and if you haven't, hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon. Leave me a comment like I just said, and I can't wait to see you again in the next video. I do have some really good stuff coming up. I do have a haul that I might have it up by the time you see this one, and I've got some reviews, but I also want to do a couple of collabs. So if any of you out there want to do a collab on crafting, I am slowly getting my supplies up there, so reach out to me if you want to do a crafting collab. I will not do it live though. I'm not ready for that. But on that note, happy Mask Monday, ladies, and we'll talk to you real soon. Love and hugs, and always shine bright. Till the next time.